Gwich, Kunasatatu, Tom Megama, Weakest Dia. What's the scale? What's the story, lads? We're back once again with some more Upfront with Katie Hannon. This is another RTE Upfront show, of course. News, propaganda, news radio, Virgin Media, Joe.ie, RTE, and of course, I think News Talk. Did I mention that? Did I mention News Talk twice? Anyways, today we have a really interesting one talking about the Irish language, okay? Should we get rid of the Irish language? Should we keep it? Of course, County Gaines is 100% for keeping the Irish language. Me, myself, personally, I learned it for 12 years in this beautiful little country out west, okay? Never went to the Gaeltacht or anything like that, but I did learn it for a long time. And I know a few words. Tá an Gríoch Taithneamh, the sun is in the sky. Tá an Scamal sa spare, it's cloudy, something like that. I know a little bit, guys. I know a good few paragraphs for the Leaving Cert, of course. And today we're going to be listening to, of course, these left-wing Marxist lefties that hate the Irish language. They hate the way that we can really push our nationalism and patriotism with the Irish language, because that's what it is. You know, it's remaining in our own true sense of our own beings. Okay, the Irish, it's a sense of culture, a sense of nationalism. That's why they hate it on the left. Okay, now of course people on this panel, they won't even realize that the language was used predominantly as well to subvert the British government, okay, when they were occupying us for the 800 years. So it's also a practical use as well. Okay, we used it in different pubs and to converse with our own people when the British were listening to us. Okay, so but these people are so dumb on the left, they won't understand they don't have the IQ to understand what I'm even going to be talking about. But don't worry, guys, County Gaines to the rescue. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get through these 4 videos and hear what they have to say. This one first is from Eamon Delaney, don't know who that is. I had a big issue when everything was going to be put in Irish as well as English, as I thought somehow through osmosis we would start speaking Irish. Again, he hates the Irish language. Don't know why. We're about to find out.
Okay, I think the thing
the
of
public
having,
documents.
I do. I had a big
signs.
issue with Eamon O'Keefe, the previous minister, when everything was going to be put in Irish as well as English, in the belief that somehow through osmosis we would start then speaking Irish. But sure, why would that happen? You know, if you're on the Lewis or the Dart in Dublin or another, and you hear the announcement made from Mullagheda or Malahide and you're going to Dalkeith and Tulera, you don't think, wow, there's some Irish. I must try and learn more Irish. I just don't think it happens, Katie. Otherwise, you would hear people speaking Irish on the streets or on the buses, and quite frankly, I don't hear it.
When me and Daddy are taking the train up to Dalkeith to get our cinnamon toast rolls, I mean, of course, this guy wouldn't know anything about the Irish language being spoken on the train, because he hates Irish language. For me, having the Irish language spoken on the train is beautiful. Imra Darren, and it's always on the train from Galway to Dublin. I love to hear it, guys. It's one of the only things as well that makes me know I'm still in Ireland. Because when I look around the train, it's all Indian people. And I got nothing against anybody, but I don't ever see anybody that's Irish on the train. So it's one of the only things that reminds me, oh yeah, I'm actually in Ireland. They don't have any Irish flags on the train. They don't have anything. But when you hear the beautiful Irish language on the train, you say, oh yeah, we're in this beautiful country. Okay, next one. We have had 100 years of compulsory Irish. It's clearly failed experiment. That's a quote from Brenda Power. Again, probably NGO funded. We don't know. We're about to find out. Let's hear what she has to say.
Your big issue is with the compulsory nature of this.
Well, I think you got that sense even from the audience input there at the beginning, that the teaching of Irish is what most people have a difficulty with. I mean, we have been, as you said yourself, Eamon, 100 years now of compulsory Irish. It is clearly a failed experiment. It hasn't worked. I mean, we're here talking about whether public servants should be able to speak Irish. The very fact that we are having this discussion is proof that it has failed. I very much doubt you'd get a discussion panel in France wondering whether public servants in France should be obliged to know French. So,
well, actually, in other countries in Eastern Europe and abroad, you have to know the language to be in it. Like, to be in the French Foreign Legion, you have to speak French. To be in these militaries, you actually have to speak their language. I would love that. If you had to be in a public sector, or if you had to be in some sector of the government, that you have to speak at least a few sentences of Irish, at least a few words. But you know why they don't want that? Because then that would be putting the Irish people above foreigners. Oh, what would be so bad about that, guys? Having to know the Irish language would be great. That would be more Irish jobs for the people, for the government. That would be great, okay? But that's nationalism. They don't want that.
I mean, the fact that it has been taught for so long and so intensely, to so little avail. You know, the definition of insanity being do the same thing over and over again, expect different results. We're not having people leave school as we ought to at 13 or at 18, you know, able to have a 5-minute conversation. That is a failure of any teaching of a language.
I would just stop. I could have a 5-minute conversation. I could have a few-minute conversation, but anything past a few minutes conversation, it gets a bit asinine. It doesn't really matter after a while because everybody speaks English, right? But just to know, oh yeah, this lad is Irish. This lad's born and reared here. Like, you know, it just kind of adds a sense of nationalism to the country. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, but nowadays, you know, if you talk about nationalism, they think that you're a guy from 1939 in Germany, so, you know, from Austria in Germany. So, you know, they use that sort of, you know, guy to always say nationalism is bad. But no, it's terrible, guys. I don't know. I think that we should definitely be pushing the language more. We have the third video here. It's cool. It's fun. We need to keep it that way. KT Trapp discusses her passion of the Irish language. Her name is Kayla Trapp. Let's hear it.
Personally, I went to an English-speaking primary school and made the decision to go to a Gael school for secondary school.
Why? Why did you do that? Because that's an unusual thing to do.
Yeah, and both my parents don't speak any Irish. I have no background with the Irish language, but I remember going to the school and just getting this feeling. I loved the fact that they celebrated our culture, and I was like, this is a bit of me, and I never looked back. And since then, in every walk of life, be it as a teacher, as a student in university, and now as a social media creator, I use it across the board all the time. And I know Lauren was mentioning there, I watch her videos with complete awe, and I love to see it, and it inspires me to use my language.
Yeah.
And I know that it inspires so many others as well, because I've seen so many other people making videos. It's cool, it's fun, we need to keep it that way and preserve it for all it's worth, because it's gorgeous.
I've noticed a trend here. I've noticed a big trend here. I think a lot of people know what I'm about to say. Why is it all the beautiful, hot Irish women want to keep the language, keep the patriotism? Here we have another redhead girl. Beautiful redhead people are a superior race to the regular people, in my personal opinion. So you have beautiful women, hot girls, hot girl,
hot girl.
You have them always loving the language, wanting to preserve it. But then you have people on the left who are overweight, look terrible, really ugly women, you know, like we just saw beforehand. You have the ugly people, the obese men, the weak men. They want to get rid of it. Did anybody else notice that trend? Okay, now last video here we have, because so many young people are traveled abroad, people are feeling a new sense of patriotism. Beautiful, what an amazing thing to say. TikToker Lauren Whelan discusses posting content to Irish in her 1.7 million followers. I've also commented on her channel. I think she does, just because I know she does YouTube, I don't use TikTok, but yeah, amazing to see another fellow Irish woman wants to use it. And they're all, let's use a really Irish face. They're all rides. All the rides want to use the Irish language and want to keep the Irishness and nationalism and patriotism. Whereas all the ugly people, the overweight people, the weak-minded people, they want to get rid of it. Anyone notice a trend there? Let's hear what Lauren Whelan has to say.
It's worth, because it's...
You have a huge following on TikTok.
Yeah.
How many?
I have 1.7 million followers.
1.7 million followers.
Yeah.
And you post some of your content to these followers in Irish. Why?
I think, so myself, I went to a Gael school and a Gael Tucht. I did all my exams and everything through Irish, and I've always loved the language. I think growing up as well, a lot of my friends went to regular English speaking schools, and it kind of disappointed me that I wasn't able to talk to them in Irish like I could talk to my friends from my Gael school, and my Gael Tucht in Irish. And I just think as well recently, because so many young people are travelling abroad, they're all emigrating, they're all going to the UK, Australia, people are kind of feeling a new sense of patriotism, and they want to embrace their culture more so they don't lose it while they're abroad. So
very well said, if I must say so myself. Absolutely, I agree, because people are travelling abroad, they feel they may be losing their Irish accent, they may be losing their sort of sense of culture, that sort of sense of patriotism. Every time I go anywhere, I'm like, I'm Irish, you know, to flipping America, to Canada, to flipping over Eastern Europe. People love to see that, guys. They want to see what's coming from our small country. There's only flipping 3-4 million of us, you know, that are actually Irish from here, right? There's only a few of us here.
I just want to tailor to them and hopefully spread a little bit of that to them.
And you wouldn't be a bit worried about losing some followers because of putting out, or do you think you're actually gaining followers?
Oh, 100%, absolutely. Yeah. I also think I have a lot of American followers, and they love it. They really, really, really love it. A lot of, American people love the Irish language, and they love Irish people, and they like to see what Irish culture is actually about.
Absolutely. The Americans love it. I think that 30-50 million Americans have, direct descendants from Irish people. I think 10 million Americans actually are fully Irish, like both their parents are from Ireland. They can trace their heritage back. Absolutely amazing. Americans love to see it. Americans now, they have a sense of patriotism, nationalism that they're putting over to us as well. Of course, with the new president and stuff, we love to see the pushing of this all together. It's absolutely beautiful. Like I said, again, the good-looking people, the hot girl.
Hot girl!
They all love the Irish language. They love to see the patriotism, nationalism. They love strong men. They love to see that. But for some reason, the ugly people, the people that don't work hard, the people that are overweight, the people that don't take care of themselves, they hate it, guys. They hate the nationalism. They hate the patriotism. They hate the people on the right. They hate that sort of conservative ideas of white picket fence and having a nice family of 5 kids and the dog and having fun with them when you come home from work. They hate that idea. I don't know what to say. I love you guys all. Keep the Irish language. What's the scale? My favorite phrase from one of my friends. Much love to Hugo. Actually, I gotta shout him out, man. But yeah, much love. And it's like, it's unbelievable to see that. It's unbelievable. We need to keep the Irish language going strong. I think it should be everywhere. You can have the English underneath it, but have the Irish on top and have the English underneath, to say we're on top. That's a reason why people fought and died for that, guys. Michael Collins, these people got killed. People actually died. People don't understand. People actually died, guys. Dead for the freedoms that we have today. To speak the Irish language freely, to have our own 26 counties. You gotta understand what our ancestors did for us. I love you guys all. Like, comment, subscribe. If you want to help support me as well, hit the join link underneath the video. I can't do it without your help, so I really appreciate the support. Become a member of my channel. Check out my merch, my Paddy's Day merch. I love you guys all. Stay free, and I'll see you in the next one, man. Peace.